I recently did a video where I shared my strategy for single releases on Spotify. And today we're going to look at one of my projects that's using this strategy and see how it's doing. Now, the video I released, we talked about a specific release strategy that I thought would work the best to get Spotify to maximize your plays through algorithmic and editorial playlists. So what I thought I'd do is actually show you how one of my campaigns is working, and we can see what it does, why we do what we do, and we're going to follow it in a couple of subsequent videos and to see if overall the strategy will allow us to build an audience for this artist. Now we'll be looking at all these statistics in her Artists for Spotify account. If you're not familiar with that, make sure you sign up and have a look around. There's a lot of useful information there, and this is the graph of her projects, starting on November 22nd on the left, which was her first release, up until today, which is February 3rd. Well, we're now into the fourth week of our second song release. Now you'll see from November 22nd until December 22nd, there's very little activity. And a big part of that is this was her first release, and we couldn't pitch it in advance to Spotify. So the streams we had were from friends and a few small playlists that we got her into from Submit Hub or Groover. Now this is a chart for the second release, which we did on January 3rd, and that's on the left of the screen. And you can see it built up. This is mostly from Release Radar, and the big bump on the right is from having her placed into a large Spotify playlist. Now, normally Release Radar leaves you in for 1 or 2 weeks, but they've been pushing it out steadily for the last 4 weeks, and we're still getting decent numbers every single day like this. On February 2nd, which was yesterday, we had 71 streams. Now that's been pretty consistent between 70 and 120 per day for the last month. In order to have our third release released on February 21st, we just sent it off on February 3rd. And we're hoping that it gets forwarded to Spotify by February 10th. Then it should arrive and be in Spotify's system by the 13th. And at that point, we will make a pitch for this track to be included in some algorithmic timelines. And then February 21st, we have our release. Now, this may be a little bit ambitious because of CD Baby's new policy of charging extra if you want to get to the head of the line for releases, which means that if you don't pay that extra surcharge, you will be moved further and further back on the release queue. So we're going to see how that works. And we have another release coming up right after this one. So we're going to try this go to the head of the line service and see exactly how that works and if it's worth the money. So be sure to watch the next video in this series and see how this strategy all worked out, see how the new release does, and see what, if any, alterations we have to do to this schedule. So we hope this has been helpful in your understanding of how a single release strategy works for Spotify to get more plays from Spotify's own playlists, editorial or algorithmic. And in other videos, we'll be following this particular project. Like I said earlier, we have sent off the third release now. We're waiting for that to be sent to Spotify, and it should be out in a couple weeks. And then we will look at that and see how it added to or changed what response we got from Spotify. I'll also be looking at a couple of other projects that we're working on, which we're doing a little bit differently, and add to some of this release strategy. So again, hopefully it was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos. And thanks for watching. Bye.